EGS, or Entrepreneurial Game Studio, was started in 2013, and I want to educate people to help them develop an entrepreneurial mindset, in particular my students at Drexel, and create a incubator for game startups. The big game industries are in LA, Texas, and other places and so on. So for my students to actually get experience to co-op at a game company, they have to go somewhere else. And I felt strongly that there should be a game industry in Philadelphia. My hope is that one of the game companies that we encourage then becomes the anchor company in Philadelphia. And that became the vision for EGS.
I can't tell you enough how much I've gotten out of the program. Going through the Entrepreneurial Game Studio system, I went into Drexel knowing that they had one of the top game design programs in terms of education, but there aren't that many game studios in Philadelphia, and so there aren't that many opportunities for local developers to work on actual productions.
The idea is that they would join in very early on, usually their freshman or sophomore year, and once they're in, they have 1 year to form a team, form a legal company, and then ship a product, in this case a game, within 1 year, with the hope that the students will make all the mistakes that they would as a new entrepreneur with me in the safety of Drexel before they graduate, so that they will have much better chance of succeeding once they graduate.
I always wanted to sort of make my own game company and develop games. And then when I got here, I saw that they had mentorship, and then they also had this lab with computers and space with other people working. So I sort of was able to work on projects that actually had like commercial viability, as opposed to class where it was just a project that would be done in 10 weeks and then it kind of goes to the back burner. I think EGS especially pushing us to focus more on like the business and actually showing people the game and taking it to conventions. It makes it feel like a real product.
A normal day at EGS could be one of 10,000 different combinations. You have a ton of programmers working on things, you have a ton of artists working on things, and everyone's working on different projects at different times, at different phases of development. It's so cool, like having that collaborative environment that everyone's working together, even though we're working on different things. So we started Gossamer Games in 2014 when I was a sophomore here at Drexel University. We had joined the Entrepreneurial Game Studio and wanted to create kind of these abstract experimental video games. And so we found an awesome collection of people who were just interested in doing that and started working on our debut game, Soul.
Soul is a unique game in that it is trying to tell something really deep and personal through this sort of dreamlike world. It's unlike any game that I've seen in how it plays with light and your perception of the world and how it changes.
Chris is probably the most talented programmer that I know, that I've met. But not only is he a great programmer, but as a creative, I think we're very much on a similar wavelength.
The EGS was definitely probably where I learned most of my experience about programming for games.
Chris co-opted with Gossamer Games and is working with EGS on a number of projects. His senior design project, Resilience, was recognized at Games for Change as the best student game, as well as by the UNHCR.
Resilience is a game where you play as a refugee manager in a sci-fi setting to abstract the real world issues into a sci-fi aesthetic. To see that Resilience is making an impact and actually being recognized by these national associations is really awesome. We wanted to put it out there for free and spread the word and sort of, attract people's interest and get people more familiar with refugees.
I never would have expected that I would be doing everything I'm doing now, running a business and signing contracts and talking with clients and negotiating, and all these things are completely outside of the trajectory that I thought I'd be going as a general game designer. But now that I'm doing it, I'm loving it more than anything I could have dreamed of. And so much of that has just been because of the faith and the belief that Frank has put into me personally and to Gossamer Games.
In my heart of hearts, what I believe is this is a new model for education in the 21st century. Having the entrepreneurial mindset can only be a great benefit to you once you graduate.
The support that EGS has shown us over the entire lifetime of our company has been nothing short of incredible. And Frank has been our biggest cheerleader from day zero. And we can't thank him and everyone enough.
For people like Tom and Chris and others it's hard to find something that you're that passionate about. And if they're able to find that passion early on, especially when they're in school, I feel like I've done my job as an educator.